Stock have too high a price? Buy a slice. Trade fractional shares of your favorite U.S. stocks and ETFs in any dollar amount you choose with zero commissions online. Get started at fidelity.com/stocks by the slice. Fractional share quantities can be entered to 3 decimal places if the value of the order is at least 1 cent. Dollar-based trades can be entered to 2 decimal places. Sell orders are subject to an activity assessment fee from 1 cent to 3 cents per $1,000 of principal. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Welcome. Greetings to all you fantastic listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode of AFK with Ninja, where we're shaking things up and taking a detour from our usual gaming adventures. In this special solo episode, we're diving into a different kind of journey. My experience with dry January. From the decision-making process to navigating social scenes without a drink in hand, we'll explore the highs, the challenges, and everything in between. So kick back, relax, and join me on this unique exploration of a dry January adventure. I'm here to talk about for a minute before we hop into the meat and potatoes. Oh my gosh, now I'm hungry for meat and potatoes. Okay, we're going to talk about the excitement of the Lions in the conference championship. Did I predict this? What's going on? For those of you who don't know, by the way, this episode, I'm well aware, I'm recording this literally the day before. I'm recording this the day before the Lions-Niners game. And I'm confident that the Lions can beat the 49ers, dude. I have the Lions and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. And I'm going to find out how stupid I sound in about 48 hours. So for those of you who don't know, let me break it down for you. The Detroit Lions have physically never been to the Super Bowl since it was called the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions have never had a playoff game at home at Ford Field until this year. The Detroit Lions have not won a playoff game since 1991 when I was born. The Detroit Lions are now playing their third playoff game for the first time in God knows how long. They have already won. They've already won more postseason games or the same amount of postseason games than the Dallas Cowboys have in the last decade. Which come on, just hilarious, right? You already know I'm trolling Tim every day, every single time I see him. We took out the red-hot Los Angeles Rams in week 1 at home. Then we got another home game because the Buccaneers beat the Eagles. We already knew that the Eagles were struggling and that the Eagles looked absolutely terrible in the second half of the season. They were completely being carried by the tush push and nothing else. The athleticism of Jalen Hurts to be able to get that yard every single time. And that offensive line, of course. That unfortunately bit him in the butt because their offense just was crumbling because they didn't know how to actually play other than doing the tush push, in my personal opinion. And their defense had loads of injuries. Unfortunately, they're out. The Buccaneers won, which gave the Lions another home game. That's right. 2 home games in the last 30 years. We win both. Now we are traveling to San Francisco to take out the Niners. The last time we met the Niners, fun fact, the last time that the Lions met the Niners in the playoffs, we won. We won. So do I think we're going to win? I do. I think it's going to be like a 21-24 Lions win. And I think the Chiefs are going to take out the Ravens too, because that's just what Mahomes does. And we're going to have the NFL season started with the Lions and the Chiefs. It's going to end with the Lions and the Chiefs. Eminem versus Taylor Swift. You love to see it. For those of you who don't know, this has been one of the most magical seasons. I know it's football and sports and blah, blah, blah. And there's so many people that joke around and call it sports ball. And oh, yeah. It's so much more than that. Even if you don't understand the concept of the game, my brothers and I have been fans of the Detroit Lions for as long as we can remember. Starting from my dad, we were born in Detroit. My dad was a Lions fan. My brother John became a Lions fan. Then he got me and Chris into football when we were older. We became Lions fans. Here we are. And to finally, I flew my family out. I flew my entire family out private from Illinois to Detroit. I flew out from Florida to Detroit for the very first game against the Rams so that I bought a suite so that we could all be together and watch history be made. And we won against the Rams. We won our first home game, our first playoff game in the last 30 years. There was so much emotion. We were all crying. It was nuts. We were crying before the game even started. There was just so much energy on that field. It was like trauma. It was almost like we were there's like trauma pressure points, right, that people have in their body. Your body like holds on to trauma. It was crazy. It literally was just amazing. It was just like this massive weight just lifted when they won that game. And it lifted for an entire city. It lifted for an entire state. It lifted for every single Lions fan in the world. I mean, there were people there's a season ticket holder. He was a season ticket holder for like 50 years, and then he finally saw this, and this guy, I mean, just what a magical experience. And it might not be over. By the time you're listening to this, it might be over because this is coming out after the fact. But it's been just an incredible year, super magical, incredible memories. Couldn't have asked for a better season. Couldn't have asked for a better team. Couldn't have asked for a better coach. Dan Campbell, Jared Goff leading his troops, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, there are so many key pieces to this team that are making it what it is, and the reason that we're this far, and that we've made it this far. And it's just been an incredible journey. So happy to be here. I hope it's not over. And if it is, that's okay too, because, I didn't expect us to get this far. The fact that I'm sitting here talking about the fact that we have a chance at beating the 49ers and can make it to the Super Bowl for the first time ever is already, magical enough for me. So just happy to be here. Happy to say that there's a chance. AFK with Ninja. So we're already getting to the main meat and taters. The main meat and taters. All right. We're going to talk about dry January. Now, a lot of people do this every year. It's like a thing. It's like a reset, right? New year, new me. So what inspired me to take on the challenge of dry January? And what goals or benefits was I hoping to achieve? First off, let's just say what it is. It's very important to realize, you call a snake a snake. This is not the term, but I don't know why I can't think of it. You call a rock, you call a snake a snake. Let's call alcohol what it is. It's poison. It can be fun with your friends. It can be fun in moderation. But at the end of the day, it literally does nothing good for you. And, I've honestly, after moving down here to Florida with Tim and Cloaksy and a lot of my friends, and then the football season being incredible and fun, right? And, there being, Thursday night football game, Monday night football game. Sometimes there's a Saturday football game, and there's Sundays all day. We were drinking a lot. Probably more than I ever have, right? I'm 32 years old now. So you can definitely feel the effects a lot more. And there's a lot of reasons to do dry January, in my personal opinion. But, you can do it. You can do this whatever month you want. I think the most important thing is to be like, hey, I can stop whenever I want. That's a great thing, right? You never know. I don't think I've ever been addicted to anything to the point where I had a problem. But I think it just happens, right? That's another thing too, when it comes to something like this. This is a problem that millions of people have around the world. It's not like you notice that it's happening and then you can stop it. It kind of just is something that, alcohol addiction can just hit you, and it's you don't notice the signs, right? Not saying that I have it. I feel like I have, I can always stop. I'm more than comfortable just having one, which is great. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that. But, the start of a new year is always a great excuse to start being healthier. I always tell my viewers this, I tell our audience this all the time. You shouldn't need a new year, new me. You shouldn't need New Year's to be that thing that gives you that kick in the butt to try to get back on your health grind. However, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not a great opportunity to do it, which is what I went for. I went for it. I was like, dude, It's the end of the season of the NFL. I've been heavily drinking the last like 6 months, like heavily, like 3 times a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, lots of drinks. Let's just prove to myself that I can do it, of course, 1 month, and go from there. How has the experience of abstaining from alcohol during January impacted my overall well-being and daily routine? These are the good questions that I love to answer. I am sleeping better. I am not waking up in the middle of the night nearly as much, which is crazy because I would be more restless throughout the night, even on nights that I wasn't drinking. Very interesting that I'm having 10x more uninterrupted sleep. And sleep is everything. I mean, dude, there are sleep studies out there and there are sleep experts that'll say that, 8 hours uninterrupted sleep, hitting your REM sleep, getting into your deep sleep, blah, 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 is some of the most important things that you can do for your health. And the fact that alcohol messes with that, is a problem. So that's one thing I've noticed is, dude, I am king of the castle. I've been feeling much better every time I wake up. So, which is great. I have more energy throughout the day, I feel. I've been drinking a lot more water as well. I've also, besides quitting alcohol for the month, I've also not had any sweets. I've not had a single snack or sweet, like a Reese's or a candy bar or a cake or a piece of pie or, nothing. And dude, I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. And I will say that after cutting out alcohol as well, dude, like random binge eating right in the middle of the night or, at random points of the day, just more control over impulses, right? And I think the most important thing as well with Jess, like, dude, we haven't had like a single even like snip, when you drink, it messes with your frontal lobe, which is basically like the barrier of the things that you say. And like, let's be real here, we're all fucked up. Okay, there are thoughts that people have, that I have, that I know everyone on this planet has, that you're like, dude, what was that? You know what I mean? Those intrusive motherfucking thoughts. You know what I mean, dude? That like, there's a troll TikTok I saw the other day. This dude's just washing a knife, and it's like, you pick up the knife and it's like, kill everyone, kill your family, and it's like, whoa, just these random weird. You're just like, where the fuck did that even come from? I would never do that, right? I would never do that. Of course, that's ridiculous. You have them anyways, but you're intelligent enough to be able to be like, yeah, that's not happening, obviously, right? And when you drink, that lifts, or, it becomes, more wishy-washy. And you just say things that you don't even mean to say, that you would never have said if you were sober. Now, there's obviously the fucking, drunk thoughts or what is it? Drunk conversations or sober thoughts or some shit like that. Sure. Maybe sometimes, but not always. And that's the point, is that it's not so cut and dry. And sometimes there are things that you would say when you're under the influence that you would have never said. And it's because, it's not like you think those things all the time, but you thought it at that moment and you said it. And now you're here. Now you're in this box. You're in this place. And we got in this conversation because of what I was talking about with me and Jess. We haven't had a fight all month, both of us, because we're both doing dry January. And, our communication's been great. We're talking, and again, we're not saying stupid shit when we have a couple drinks, which is, by the way, usually the only time that Jess and I ever fight anyways, like ever have like a true fight, which, should be enough for us to just never drink again. But alas, here we are. The highlights of dry January for me, and I feel like I'm just starting to feel it too, really, like fully, as we're getting towards the end, right? January 27th is when I'm recording this. More energy, more motivation. I feel like I have a stronger grip on my mental, which is, like there would be times when I'm at the gym and I'm on the treadmill after I've, done my workout, and I am like struggling to get to that 1 mile mark. And my head is just like, just get to, maybe quit now. And I'll be like, dude, Jesus, I got to at least get to a mile. And then, I'm close to it. I'm at 0.8, 0.85, not 0.9 miles. And then I'm like, all right, dude, the second I hit 1 mile, I'm out. I'm hitting stop. And I would. But now this whole last month, dude, I've it's almost like I've been able to like combat that. Like I'm sitting here and I'm able to analyze and be like, dude, my body feels great. I feel fine. My brain is kind of right now telling me to stop. hey, yeah, maybe stop at 1. But then I'm sitting here also like, no, I'm good. Like I'm physically, I know how I feel right now. My body feels great. My legs aren't tired. I'm not tired. I can go way longer than this. And I can like analyze that. I can feel that. I can see that. So I feel like I'm mentally stronger when it comes to, working out. And, here's another thing. Like when I do drink, I feel like shit the next morning. Who doesn't, right? If you drink too much, you feel like shit the next morning. And if you aren't the most disciplined person in the world, you're not going to go work out hungover, right? You're probably going to stay at home. And then guess what? You're going to play video games all day. Maybe you're going to order Chipotle and boom. Now you're in this place. Very happy with how I feel so far. 27 days into it. I'm already thinking about doing it permanently, but obviously we got the Super Bowl coming up, excuses, blah, 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 this, that, the other. We have a, trip to Barbados or someplace, some island in the next month or two. I don't really care. I don't really care. I feel like I don't need it. I don't think anyone needs it. Another thing is like, I'm just as goofy. I'm the exact same person. I'm just the same crazy ninja with or without alcohol. So I don't need it to be fun. I don't need it to be goofy. I don't need it to have a good time. I never have. Have I encountered any unexpected challenges or benefits during this dry month that I didn't anticipate? Well, there's one I don't want to talk about, but I'm not even sure if that's a reason because of it. No, I mean, you know what, dude? I think the challenge is like, my friends that are just like, come on, do it anyways. I mean, Tim and Cloakzy already broke dry January because of the Dallas Cowboys game when they got slaughtered by the Packers, which I think is just such a silly excuse. I don't, but at the end of the day too, they also did get their ass handed to them. So I'm not gonna fault them for that personally. No, I don't think there's been any expected challenges. I added on the sweets challenge on top of dry January. So for me, that was an unexpected challenge. I also feel like I'm craving less and less sweets. There'd be random points through the day where I would just be like, I could really go for a dessert right now. I could really go for an energy drink right now. I could really go for, I can just have this crazy sweet tooth craving. But now that I'm just drinking a lot more water and I'm not drunk or hungover, like those urges have completely died down, which is sensational. With my busy schedule and involvements in various activities, how has dry January influenced your social life and engagements? I mean, it's been fine. I'm just going to speak plainly. I hate being, I think, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone when I say this. I hate being around drunk people when I'm sober. It is one of my triggers, I think. I tell Jess this all the time because, there are times where and vice versa, because I'm drunk sometimes and she's not. When I tell her this all the time, I hate it. I think it's the most unattractive thing in the world when I'm sober and someone else is drunk. And I'm not just saying it's just Jess. It's literally anyone. We were at the Lions game. We were at the suite. Everyone was drunk. Every single person in that suite was drunk or drinking, except maybe my mom and my dad, like to the point of where it was like altering how they were feeling. For the most part. At the end of the game, everything was perfect and amazing. And I shared incredible moments with my brothers and my family. But at the beginning, like I could tell immediately, people were talking different. People were acting different. People were walking around different. And then there was this guy next to me in the suite, and he just sounded like such an idiot. I hope he doesn't hear this. This guy just kept saying, "You tell Tim, man. You tell Tim, get it together," or some shit. Literally, just dude. I was like, what the fuck? What is this guy even saying? And here's the worst part too, is he said it to me like several times. He said it to me like right when I got there. He said it to me at halftime. He said it to me in the third quarter. He said it to me in the fourth quarter. Like as if A, he was so drunk that he kept forgetting, or B, he was so drunk he just kept saying it because he felt like he needed to keep saying it. And either way, the fact that there was alcohol that was just making him do that, it's just scary, bro. It's like, dude, do I fucking sound this stupid to a sober person when I'm drinking? And if that's the case, dude, is it worth it? Because Jesus, dude, to sit there as a sober mind and to be around people that are all intoxicated, it's such an unpleasant experience. I don't even know how to like describe it, or like, I don't like it. I don't mind it, but I also wouldn't go out of my way to do it. You know what I mean? Like if someone's like, "Hey man, you want to come out with all my friends and everyone's going to be drunk and, to do something," it's like, would I rather, maybe I'd rather just stay at home and, just watch it alone by myself with my dogs and Jess or something. Or maybe I'll get used to it, right? Because, there are people that are sober people all throughout the world. It's like, I'm sure that Some of them are doing it not because they have a problem, which means that they don't mind being around it. And then do they get used to it? Because, man, it's annoying.
We're going AFK with Ninja. What's he gonna say?
Have I found it challenging to resist temptations or situations where alcohol is typically present, and how do you navigate those moments? So as someone, again, who doesn't have a problem, at least I don't think I do, it's a non-issue, right? I think that I've already been off of it. I've already been, clean or whatever, or dry for a couple weeks now. And at that point, it's just the kind of person that you are. Are you going to sit there and look for excuses to drink and be like, oh, you know what, dude, maybe just one. I already did 2 weeks. Or do you want to, respect yourself and hit the challenge that you set for yourself, right? So for me, it really wasn't an issue. And you just set the tone. You just be honest. And it also tells you about your friends and who's around you, right? So the most important thing in the world are boundaries, and you have to be able to set those boundaries. And if you have friends that don't respect those boundaries, are they, how good are those friends? Tim and Dennis weren't drinking in front of me and dangling a bottle in front of me every time we hung out. And I mean, they've only drank once this month, so it's they respected it, and they weren't offering me shots and drinks every single time we were hanging out. And the same thing with my parents and with John and Chris, and when I was at the Lions game, I told them ahead of time, I was like, guys, I am not drinking. I'm doing dry January. Not a single person in that suite offered me a drink, and not a single person in that suite made me feel bad. Great family, great friends, check. If you are having people making you feel like shit because you want to just be sober, or, participate in dry January, or just participate in a whole year being dry, whatever the case may be, I think it's a really important thing to just sit there, look at yourself in the mirror and evaluate, do I want to be around these people? Are these people holding me back as a person? Are they holding me back in my business? Are they holding me back in whatever? So, a lot of self-reflecting going on here. How do you handle social situations, gatherings, or events where alcohol is common an element, especially considering your public profile? I mean, dude, at the end of the day, right? It's almost like this is even better. I've said some stupid shit. Who hasn't when they're under the influence, right? And to be in a position that I'm in where people are looking to clickbait me left and right and to say stupid things or to do stupid things, those will almost never happen if I'm not under the influence. If I'm of sound mind, sound mind, sound body, I'm a freaking, like to think my parents raised me really well. I have a great head on my shoulders. I'm not going to do some stupid shit. I'm not going to say some stupid stuff. I'm going to be smart, be able to analyze situations and walk away from stupid things and not get clickbaited and say some dumb stuff. So, I don't really care. I don't care about putting myself in those situations, because I'm not sitting there in a party and everyone's drinking and I'm just like, man, I really wish I had a drink in my hand. I wouldn't even go to a party if that was the reason to go to it, right? But there are some parties that are it's more about not meet and greets. It's more about wining and dining people and, networking and things like that. If that's the reason for going to that party, I imagine that, I don't need to be under the influence to do that. Going to a party and the whole point of the party is just to get hammered, right? I just wouldn't go to that because there's just no point, right? In terms of mental clarity and focus, have you experienced any changes or improvements during this month without alcohol? Dude, I will say that first off, my motivation is high and my anxiety has plummeted. I don't even know what to say. It was if I was hungover or something, dude, literally when you're hungover, at the end of the day, you have the perfect excuse to not, you have the perfect, I'm hungover, poor me. I'm going to lay in bed all day and eat the worst food. And because I just don't feel good, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to just lay in bed and just drink water and, watch TV and I'm not going to stream today. I'm not going to work out today. I'm not going to walk my dogs today. I'm not going to work on this project today. I'm going to cancel lunch. I felt dude, I would do that all the time. Right. And then now you're just basically staring at yourself and the only excuse is you. It is you. It is your mind. There are no excuses. There is nothing like, oh, I'm hungover. Oh, I can't do this today. Oh, you have to look at, what it is every day and say, if I don't want to stream, it's literally, I don't want to stream today because I'd rather do this. And then that's fine. He's like, you can't lie to yourself, essentially, which I love. Like that mental clarity there is, it's kind of scary too, right? People love excuses. Who doesn't love blaming something else and not having to blame yourself or blame your mind? I will say, I'm like right now, it's 8:45. I haven't had breakfast yet. You're probably not even going to eat breakfast. I've had a couple sips of coffee. I woke up at 7, so I've been awake for about an hour, 45 minutes. Dude, like I feel great. I knew that I had to go record these podcasts on today. I told, I promised my team I'd record 2 today. Because I was kind of behind. And I'm nailing it. I'm killing it. I feel great about doing it. And after this, I'm probably going to go hit the gym on this Saturday and then relax for the rest of the day. And dude, that is going to feel so much better than if I put off one of the podcasts. And if I drank Friday night and then I was hungover and then I wasn't 100% during these recordings and, no, I'm not going to work out on Saturday, no, I'm not going to get my morning workout and it blah, 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 blah. It just I feel strong. I feel in control. And the only person to blame is me in these situations now. And I love that. Accountability, I feel like, is what I have a lot more of. So as the month progresses, how have my feelings and attitudes toward alcohol evolved? Do I see any long-term effects on your habits? It's an in-depth question. I mean, dude, we're almost at the end of it. My feelings toward it have changed. I do think it's the stupidest thing in the world. I also think it's it is also like a great camaraderie, like have a couple, have a good time. Sure. I get both sides. I'm sitting here recording this January 27th, 2024, sober ninja, right? For almost a full month. I don't know why the hell we do it. Like I feel so much better now as a person, not like better than others that do it, because that's cringe. Just straight up as a person, I feel better. So why wouldn't I want to be like this all year round? Looking ahead, do you have any plans or reflections on how the dry January experience might influence your relationship with alcohol in the future? Yeah, I mean, again, just wrapping up this segment, wrapping up this solo episode, everyone. There's a very real world where I do this more often. I do this multiple months out of the year. And yeah, that I don't. I only drink on like a special occasion. And when I do, I do it responsibly as well. And I don't just get silly, stupid hammered. Yeah, I'll definitely treat it differently. And who knows what the future may hold. I'm still trying to figure that out. And that brings us to the end of our gaming journey today. Not really much of a gaming journey, more of a serious conversation journey. But thank you all for tuning in, and make sure to show your support, please, by hitting that delicious and nutritious follow button. Whether you're on Spotify, Apple, or any other platform, your comments, ratings, and reviews are a treasure, brightening our days and helping the show reach more listeners like you. So until the next adventure, take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of yourself. Love you guys. Peace.
It's AFK with Ninja. Ninja's got a show. It's